Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. What are we working on tonight? Well, we're gonna build a crane. This is the crane video. I don't think I need this drive seat. Yeah, I might actually, just for the sounds. Alright, put that up here. Alright, so we have the crane. We have another vehicle. These parts here group as a model, and that should go into here. Okay, perfect. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to build a crane, and I found some tires and I put them together, put the hub on there, but they weren't attaching to the crane. So every time I would press play, I know right now the mast is too high. You see the wheels are attached. So if I get in it, for example, I can turn. But they weren't doing that before. They weren't doing that before, and that was because, as you can see, we have the wheel, and it's a model, but what I had to do is I had to make a cylinder, and then I had to put all the parts for the wheel inside the cylinder. Basically, that's what that is. So I just haven't made it transparent. Just like that. So there. So this was going to be the crane. I guess these wheels. This one here needs to be rotated. And this one here needs to be rotated. Yeah. Yeah, alright. And then what we can do is duplicate that. And I can duplicate that. There we go. Now when I press play, oh, it's still, the mass is too high. So what I need to do, cat, I need to change the axle size, probably to 2. It's 2, still too heavy. Alright, so it's not that. So let's change the axle size back to 2. And then in the scaling. Alright, cat. You wanted food. Where's my wet food? Okay, perfect. There we go. Now, and it should go slowly. Now, I'm not too sure why it's not driving much faster. Oh, really? Oh, why? Oh, yeah, so now, I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be the fact that the wheels weigh a ton. So maybe what we want to do is, oh, they're massless. Okay. Does this weigh anything? No, it all doesn't weigh anything. So maybe we need a little more horsepower. Maybe we need a little more. It's all-wheel drive. Okay. It has 1 gear. We could turn that to maybe to 2. You know, not bad. So it just kind of needs to be tweaked here a little bit. So let's see if we can figure out. Let's see, final drive. Now this could be like. We could just crank this up to like 15. Yeah, there we go. So it might not have a whole lot of top speed. Actually, it will have a lot of top speed. So there you have it, right? There's our crane. Now it probably needs a little more horsepower. So we can say, what's it have right now? 150. So we can crank that up to maybe 650. Right, and this is just the chassis. We haven't started to work on the crane or anything yet. We're just trying to configure the chassis. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And now we have a crane or a tractor or whatever. We could turn this into like an SUV. We could turn it into like an APC, put a gun on it. You know, and it might go faster maybe if instead of being all-wheel drive, it's just rear-wheel drive. So on and so forth, and that's kind of what we need to work on here. Oh boy, I just can't help it. Oh boy, huh? Had BIM for almost a year now, and I went from only being able to pet him 3 times. 8 is 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then he would swat at you. So he's just putty now. Hey, you getting them good scratches, huh? But I forgot to pick up some food for him. So he's got his dry kibble and he doesn't like it because he has to chew it. He crunches. Alright, yeah, so we can just tweak that. Like I say, I can change this from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. Then it might perform, it might drive a bit better. Now, it might not go over, like, we'd have to test it out on some terrain as well, right? Just to see what's going to work best. Oh, yeah, that looks better. So yeah, now the reason why I have the controls down on the bottom is this is an older version of A chassis. I just got it, as I said, off a model in the workspace, and that was it. So from here, basically, what we need to do is we need to go to Google, and we need to look at, we need to look at a mobile crane. So, yeah, let's go to the images. Let's see if we can find something that's similar that has big tires. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Something like that. My goodness. There we go. What's this? Can we get a side view of it? There it is. Okay, and then it'll have to have a trailer which carries weights as well. Can't zoom in, unfortunately. Can't zoom in. Yeah, so if we say something like that, you see how the cab hangs over the front? So now we basically just need to model that, right? That's the drive seat there. So I mean, we can take this, we can duplicate it. We can bring it into here. You know, maybe this is a bit wider. And obviously there's going to be let's group this as a model, and then that way I can duplicate this, rotate it. You know, there's going to be like a step in the bottom and all that kind of stuff, right? Right, and you're going to 3D model yours however you want. You're going to design it however you want. So something like that, that might be a little low. You know, and then we can always take this and duplicate it. Something to that effect. Right, and then now we just have like a basic, I don't know, something basic. Okay, so now go to view. I want to turn these details off. Right, so we sort of have the front, whatever you want to call this thing. And of course, it's going to be enclosed, and there's steps, right? You know, so we need a part there. Need a part there, need a part there, need a part there. This one's kind of difficult because it sticks out over the top. Sure. Yeah, something, whatever. Something like that. So now it's closed in, and then, you know, we'll put some stairs in there. We'll finish that off. So then it looks like we have our door. We have a bit of a kick plate there, here. Let's see. So if we come across and we duplicate that. Alright, we'll scale this up. Now theirs is white. You know, something like that. And then it gets into the windshield. Duplicate that. Let's see here. cab actually is a lot wider. It's pretty wide. Comes up to about there. Yeah, maybe not quite so much. We could try that there. And I have a bumper or something on it. Okay, that can work. Let's see. We'll go to home. We'll go to the toolbox. See if we can find a seat. Oh, no, we want a seat here. Creator store. Creator store. Oh, it was taking forever to load. Alright, so from the inventory, I'll have to use, I think the tow truck, I don't know if this has a custom cab, I don't think it does. So that is essentially the crane. It's big. So if you sat down, yeah. All right. Let's quickly model this car. Alright, it's not gonna be perfect. It's just gonna be like a okay, duplicate this. In the trucks in Blue Trucking City, I actually did model the I'm working on a cab for the trucks. Alright, something like that. And then we can sit in it and we can make sure that it's, you know, that's what we want. That thing can go. Could we just union this together? Boom, it's a seat. Nice. Alright. I want it to be that high. Alright, now we just need to weld this to there. I think these are welded. Cool. got me thinking. Okay, so now we have our seat. That can go into there, sure, why not? All right, so now maybe the tires can come in a little bit. There we go. Right, because we still need the weight on it. So it's just going to be a plate basically on over top of the back. So if we duplicate this, see how this holds up. And then there we go. Now it's obviously a bit wide, so we'll need to cut that down just a tad. Oh boy. Ooh, motorbike. All right. Get some more music. Where are we? It has been that long. All right. So the last crane I built, there were multiple seats in it. This one's just gonna have one seat. All right, there we go. All right, so we have our vehicle. What else do we need? We need a few things. We gotta fill these in, obviously. Let's see if it drives. It does, but something is amiss here. Oh, you know what it is? It is taking these seats and it is welding them to the vehicle seat. And so their position is being moved to the vehicle seat and then they're being welded. Alright, there we go. So, from here, I mean, we can pretty much be creative. We can turn this into anything we want, really, at this point in time. What we should do is go to the toolbox, get a vehicle, and make sure that the vehicle we're building now is correctly scaled to what we want. So it appears, obviously, that this vehicle is massive, right? Because we want it to sort of, you know, look like it might fit on a road. So if that's the case, we have to sort of potentially. Though it does tow a regular trailer, right? So Yeah, it does tow a regular trailer, so we don't want it to be too wide. Let's see if we can find a workable scale here. Perhaps we could try that. Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger. Alright, so then all the wheels just have to be moved in. That seems to be right. So if we're able to do that, still quite wide, but not, I suppose, to the point where, you know. So that means the seats. Probably be something like that. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a lot of adjusting and reshaping and adjusting and reshaping. Till we get what we want. We have to chisel it out of the stone. Chisel it out of the stone. Alrighty, yes, and then we can probably cut this in. And that way it's very marginal. Something like that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Making some progress. All right. Oh, I gotta do this side too. Whew. Yes, we are building a crane. Still trying to figure out the body. Okay, so now if I press play, something happens. still some significant problems on the inside. Potentially that. Well, the trailers decided it was better, so maybe that. Strange. Alright, so let's see. We came around. I like it. Except for that part. I don't like it when it rolls away. So what we need to do there is just change the braking power. When the parking brake is applied, yeah. Put another 0 in there. All right, so let's carry on. So I'm guessing it's probably something like this. And then we just have the counterweight, and then we have the actual crane itself. So counterweight, engine, whatever. And that's going to exist in this front part here. So if we duplicate this, and we say the counterweight will probably rest here. Yeah, we can say up to here. And we'll put decals on it and some other stuff. We're just right now we're still just scaling the trying to get the body, figuring out how that's going to work exactly. So we could say something like that, and then of course we need a cylinder, which is going to represent where the crane pivots. So we can go put that in miscellaneous. All right. I think I'm going to delete that vehicle seat. It's kind of So we can delete that model. All right. Now, as far as the actual crane goes, I mean that can be basically whatever it is that you want it to be. For me, I have the excavator. Right, so if we take this thing here and we just take the engine bay, I guess we don't need to, yeah, we could take the 3D text if we want to. Is it all of that? Yeah, if we copy that. Paste into group as a model. There we go. How cool is that? Now, what I can do is I can rotate this. So we don't need this anymore. Look at that, it's just as wide as the excavator. Oh, that's cool. Now in this case it sits back here, which is neat. So then I can take this part here and I'll just weld it to there, and then it should be all right. Alright, so I needed the interface anyhow, so that's kind of good that it has the interface on it. There we go. So that's kind of the start of the crane, right? And then I guess sort of the next piece that we need is the actual crane itself. The cylinders that we're going to use to set up the crane and move. Could be something like that, and then perhaps yeah, we'll have to design like a pivot for it, you know. A lifter on the arm. Where it lifts up. So we could do something. We just make it just like a plate. We need a plate of some kind. We'll just change the color of it just to make it easy to see. We can duplicate with that. And for now, we'll just weld it there. This can be welded to there, and that can be welded to there. All right. So it's starting to evolve. We started with something really basic, and it's grown and grown into something, you know, that almost resembles a really big crane. And so from here, it's just a matter of, you know, just finishing off the roof, adding some decals, and then just adding a little bit of style, flair, whatever you want to add to it. You know, some doors for the player to open and close, stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. The pizzazz. You want to add the pizzazz. There we go. So you take something like that, move it around. And then of course we'll need to have a weight on it. You know, there's, right, yada yada yada, there's all these sorts of things. So probably what I would do is, you can even model that like that, and then of course for some reason the toolbox just doesn't want to load. Probably why, it's a Friday night, you know. But if it did load, I would just look for a mesh of a hook, and I would just turn that square block into a nice little mesh hook, right? Without having to continue to do too much modeling, you can just replace some of the models with meshes, you know, like these parts here, and that kind of stuff. And that just sort of cleans up the model a little bit. So the last thing we also need to do is build a trailer, which could also have a weight or whatever in it. We need to model doors, side doors for the cabin. But that's going to do it. That's going to do it for video 1 of our heavy crane. Our heavy crane build. So in part 2 we will, I think it's got legs that come out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's got legs that come out. So that's what we need to do next, is we need to model the legs. What do we have for the runtime on this one? Oh yeah, an hour. Yeah, the next thing we need to do is we need to model some legs. And that is just going to be a block. You know, and they'll come out to maybe that far. Take that, I can drag that into miscellaneous. So this will just represent the legs, how far they're going to come out. They might come out a little bit further than that, actually. So they could, I mean, that's one way of doing it, or the other way we can do it is we can have them hidden on the side of the vehicle, and they can pivot out. right? They don't have to come out so far. We don't want to block the vision of the driver, whatever, right? So these are gonna have to be changed a little bit. They're a little bit, you know, they could be scaled so they're thinner, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff that could be done. And then we'll put lights on it, right? Some flashy lights, some other sorts of stuff. We can do that, right? And of course they're gonna have feet. And they'll be fixed at whatever height, right? So that is kind of that. All right, well, I'm going to save this here. Don't need this anymore, actually. I should delete that, and then we'll save it again. Let's give it a test and see how many parts fall off that we just added on. Not too many. That's good. That's good. Well, we can't move because the legs are collidable. This and this and this and this. All right, there we go. Cool. So our heavy crane, part 1, coming along. We seem to have been able to model the body, and it actually looks okay. It's a little bit wide, so I may need to trim it up. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that, but I think it looks pretty cool. It's hardy. It's big. We can walk around. So now there's just a few things that need to be done to it, obviously. In the next video, we'll add the constraints for the legs, and we'll figure out the feet. We'll see if we can get the arm working as well, and we'll see if we can get the crane pivoting. And then from there, it's just a matter of adding the doors, adding the trim, you know, lights, sounds. Another 8 or 9 videos, I think, should do the trick. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.